Hey engineers, today I'm diving into an often overlooked yet crucial aspect of your prototype success, the power supply. Let's face it, the power supply is usually the last thing on our minds when starting a new project. And honestly, that's not always a bad thing. After all, how can you know how much power you'll need before fully outlining the project? But how you provide power to your prototype is incredibly important. Imagine you're designing a battery-powered device with a microcontroller unit, and you hand over a battery-powered prototype to your firmware developer. Guess what? You're setting yourself up for a world of frustration. Now let's talk about what makes the prototype your most important tool. Many inventors, whether seasoned or just starting out, often don't grasp the role a prototype plays in product development. Think of it like a clean, smooth piece of paper. Just like an artist layers paint to create a masterpiece, a prototype helps you layer your ideas and test them out. It's where you get to try things, see if they work, and make adjustments. For example, if you're adding a flash memory chip to your device and you're unsure about the memory requirements, why not plan for multiple chips on the prototype? You can make a few boards with different footprints. If the first chip doesn't work out, you've got a backup ready to go. It saves time and money in the long run. Now back to power supplies. If you're making a battery-powered device, you'll also want a way to power it using a benchtop power supply. Batteries are a hassle during development, but don't ignore the power supply early on either. Double paths and contingencies are your friends here. Drop down a 2-pin header so you can attach a variable voltage benchtop supply. This way, you can test the limits of your regulator before beta testing. And don't forget a barrel connector for your nominal expected voltage. It's simple, just plug it in and get to work testing your circuit or firmware. You should also connect the actual target power supply early in development. Whether you use it much or not, testing it ensures no surprises later on. Now let's touch on the age-old debate, linear versus switching power supplies. Switching power supplies are efficient and cooler, but they're not always plug and play. Having a linear power supply as a backup is a safe bet. If everything works perfectly, you don't need to populate the linear regulator. But if things go south, you've got a safety net. Here's a tip: place a small resistor in line with your voltage regulators. This helps you measure the actual power usage of your prototype. Knowing the current going to various parts of your circuit is invaluable. And document this information. It'll be a lifesaver for future you or any technicians working on the project. Sprinkling test points throughout the circuit can be incredibly handy in early prototypes. And remember, as your design matures, you can remove unnecessary ones. So use your tools to the max and happy designing. Keep these tips in mind and your next prototype will be one step closer to success. Until next time, keep engineering.